All right. So, one of the most common remodeling that a homeowner will face would be his exterior. In other words, redoing his painting. Because every 7, 8, 9 years, usually, you need to repaint the house. Why is that? It's usually the main things that causing exterior to flake or chip or fade will be the weather, lots of rains, lots of sun, especially difference in temperature between daytime to nighttime, very common in California weather. Second issue is urban area, the pollution, the smog in the air, industrial smog, car smog, although it's getting better in the last this century than what it used to be before, still there's lots of pollution. The smoke sits on the walls and colors start to fade. You see some black areas, especially houses that are close to freeways, to Main Street. So the color is fading, the house looks ugly, discoloration, darkness, etc. And then the other issues, once again, it's typical to California and also to Florida, is extreme condition. In California, it's the earthquake. In Florida, it's the closeness to the water and the hurricane. All those things damaging the color, whatever is over the wall, the color, the paint, and as a result, in order to maintain the value of the house, which is mainly the outside look, beside the location, is to keep it nice and clean. You need to invest again and again and again, every 7 to 10, between 7 and 10 years, depends on where you are. You need to redo the house. Now, each painting project will cost several $1,000s. Depends on where you are. Some areas it's more, some areas it's less, but it will cost in the thousands. So every few years you need to spend anywhere between $5,000 to $20,000, depends on the size of the house and the location, to keep your house, to maintain your house looking nice. The color, renew the color, renew the stucco, replace woods that is dry rotten if it's a wood siding house. Now, about 35 years ago, they developed in Southern California a special application that comes to avoid all those issues, all those grievances. They created the texture coating. This application, it basically looks exactly like regular paint. The only difference is it's 20 times thicker than regular paint. And this is the only application that gives solution to all the issues that I mentioned before and provide the homeowner with lifetime warranty as long as he owns the property, that he will not have to redo or renew his paint unless he just tired of the color and he wants to change it. So this is the type of application that will save you tons of money if you are the homeowner, because you're going to do it once and you're done with it. In addition, in the last few years, the TexCoat companies, the company that invented the texture coating, develop an additional benefits to the homeowner by putting in the cool wall. The cool wall is a heat reflecting cover that will reduce the amount of infrared light that hitting the house, just reflect it back. The infrared is the part of the sun ray that creating the heat. Now, usually the only color that used to reflect infrared is white, Now, some people do not like white, they want different type of color, beige, cream. Especially in Florida, they like pastel colors. So now with the special treatment, the infrared reflecting, the issue of the heating of the house will not happen, and that will give you a product that scientifically, I put down 22%, it's 21.9 to be exact, will save you about 21.9% of your energy usage to keep the house in the right temperature, whether it's heating or cooling. Once again, the most important thing is the lifetime. What is the TechScott and the Coolwall? What does it has that give you those solutions? So some of the components, beside the regular painting, they have a selection of painting that matching almost any other color chart that you can find with Sinclair, Dan Edwards, or Behr Paint. Now, the TechScott have some. It's a combination of material, of chemicals that are involved inside, that are made inside those, mixed inside the color, that will give you the solution. For example, there is polyester inside. Polyester will create the flexibility. The flexibility will solve the problem of the small earthquakes in California, the one that can give you the hairline, the hairline cracks in the wall, in the stucco. Big earthquake will not, the color will not hold the house, of course. The flexibility also going to give you the solution for the different in the temperature between daylight and nighttime, because the more flexible the material is, less chipping and flaking will occur. So we have a lifetime warranty against chipping and flaking. That's the weather resistance. Now, the other issue that create cracks and peeling is the water. Wherever there is lots of watering on the gardening, and wherever we have lots of weather condition that it's rain, water that's penetrate the walls, the stucco or the wood, creating also chipping and flaking. So part of the application is waterproofing, resolving the weather and the water issue. Air pollution. The texture coating and the Coolwall contain a material that's called mica. The component that's called mica. Now what mica does, it's preventing the smog, the polluted air, to be stuck to the house. You just don't let it to settle in. So yes, it might become dirty from time to time. The only thing that the homeowner needs to do is just to take his garden hose and wash the wall. You wash the wall, the house has an effect as if it's just been painted. You do it 20, 30 years after you first apply. Once a year, you wash the wall. There it is. It looks like a complete brand new paint. So it's maintained the beauty. Insulation. Texture coating contains fiberglass. As we learn with roofing and with insulation, fiberglass is the best insulation material. Okay, that by itself has two main benefits. It's a fireproof material, and it can insulate about 15%. And it can insulate and can conserve energy up to 15% per day. Now, when you're applying the Coolwall ingredients, the infrared reflected material, then it goes together to about 21%, 21.9, 22%, and that's what make it one of the best application work that you can do in the house and save you lots of money down the line on energy, and of course the fact that you will not have to repaint the house again. Once again, you do it once and you keep it for life. Now, the beauty, it doesn't cost way more than just applying a regular paint to your house. It does cost more, but not by much, by 30 or 40% more. But remember, every 7 to 10 years you need to repaint your house. Texcot, you do it once, so after the 7 years you already have a return on investment only by that. We are not even calculating the amount of money that you're saving with the energy factor. Now, very important, only specialty contractor that was trained, that has the equipment, that was certified by Texcot Coolwall is authorized to perform the application. And somebody, you take a general or somebody from the street, a handyman, they do not have the equipment, they are not able to get the right material, and they probably will not perform all the necessary steps that require in order to get a proper installation of Texcot Coolwall, and therefore to be able to provide the homeowner at the end of the line with the lifetime warranty. So when we're doing that, it's the most important thing that you have to emphasize to the customer. The end of the job, there is an inspection done by the Texcot Coolwall in order to people, and they will provide you with their lifetime warranty. So what is the process of applying the Texcot? The first thing is the inspection. The inspection of the technician, of our people. They have to survey the house and figure out where are the main problems, where there is dark chipping, where there is flecking, where there is water damage. Now, in most cases, the major issue will be about 6 inches from the ground, wherever there is an exposed ground, wherever the wall touch the ground, not where there is concrete or other structure. Why? Because that's where water will penetrate the stucco. That's where water will penetrate the wall. So in order to do that, to treat that problem, we go to the step number 2, which is the trenching. We want to start to treat the wall to handle the issue from the level of the foundation. So usually that requires to trench along the wall anywhere between 6 to 10 inches until we hit the foundations of the house, the concrete of the foundation. You want to treat in order to be able to paint it, to apply the material from the foundation all the way up to the roof. Next thing about mistake will be masking. What is the masking? We want to protect all the parts of the house that are around the wall, so they will not be sprayed with unnecessary material for them. For example, all the glasses, all the windows, the doors, the wood trims, as well as the bushes or the vegetation that is near the wall, and the concrete around the house. All those things that need to be covered with fabrics, so they'll be protected during the application. Now we're going to the next steps, which is not patching. I'm sorry, I missed pointing. It's going to be water blasting. In the past, we used to do sandblasting. It's a machine that will removing all the flaking and chipping area from the wall by shooting a combination of a special sand that's called crystal silica with air. Now, because of the environmental requirement, some areas, urban areas, it's not healthy for the. It's not healthy enough. People can have some respiratory issues with that. That method was replaced by water blasting, especially with water with high water pressures, with some airs. The shooting and the blasting it away from the house. Wherever there is some real issues on the wall, they're not using even water, they're using what we call further blasting, which is hot air. Just remove it with air and by hand with some graders. They remove and expose all the problems in the wall that being detected on the first inspection. Okay, once that's been done, the next stage will be the patching. Repair and patch. It's basically we prepare a special mixture of stucco and cement with special material that is recommended and provided by the manufacturer of Texcoat USA, Coolwall. We patch and smooth the wall, and that way we are correcting all the issues and making the wall much stronger and ready for the main application. At that point, we're going to the first part of the first day of working at the house, and that will be the sealer. Sealer, waterproofing, primer. We have the exposed patch wall. What we're doing now, we're shooting a special primer that contains a silicone material, a material that is based on silicone. It's called TH500. Now that material will completely seal the wall from any water damages, from any water penetration. Hopefully we can show you in the future, we can provide a small can with it powder. We likes to play with it, to dip the finger inside it and then in the water, and it remains completely dry. This is a very expensive application. That's why if you are not an authorized Texcoat Coolwall applicator, you cannot use it, you cannot do that. But this is the most important thing. That's what's going to keep the application, the texture coat and the Coolwall on the house. Because if water penetrates between the wall and the application, it will start to fall. That's why in the past, people that try to get some bargains and find somebody that was not authorized, that told them, yes, I'm going to shoot you a Texcoat, and he just did a regular oil-based primer and then shoot the Texcoat on. They just, after the first watering of the lawn, some pieces of the application of the stucco, the wall of the Texcoat just fall down on the ground. Just will not hold without the waterproofing. That's the importance why to do it right and why to do it only with authorized contractors. Okay, after we have the sealer, we let it settle for overnight, and then we come on the next day, and that's where we are applying the texture coating and or with the Coolwall. It's being done with spray guns, comes in a barrel. Each barrel contains 100 square foot of material. Therefore, Texcoat, just like we do in roofing, In order to figure out and measure, we'll use the big square unit. Okay? After we finish shooting the Texcoat over, next stage will be to remove the mask and treat all the wooden part, the trim. The trim by themselves needs to be sanded, apply the same primer that is specifically made for the wooden part. It has a smooth finish, unlike the regular Texcoat that has like stucco-like, like cottage feeling. On the trim, it's always going to be wood trim, flat finish, smooth finish. It has a little bit different colors to create the contrast. So we apply the primer for that. Then we hand brush, not with spray. We paint the trims. Next stage, we are inviting the inspector from the Texture Code Coolwall local office to check if there are any more issues, so they can provide you with the warranty. So there's the inspection for the warranty, and last, when everything is done, we have to clean. There's lots of mess after such a work, and there is a cleanup process. Overall, you're looking at about 3 days of work on average 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. It's a house of about 2,000 to 3,000 square foot. It's between 3 and 4 days. Very important. Texcoat has to be, just like roofing by the way, has to be done on a dry weather. We cannot start or we cannot do the work whenever there is rain. We explain why, because we have to waterproof the house, and we cannot do that while there's still raining. So it's very important when you determine not to promise the customer in the winter or during the rainy season a specific day before we are checking the forecast for the weather. It has to be, the walls needs to be dry 2-3 days from the last rain, and at least 5 days ahead, no chances of showers in the area. And that's about it on that.